Okay, hello, hello. Got it. Algebra. Algebra 1. Algebra 1A. Okay, these are your notes. Remember, you must copy these notes as you are in class. And you must follow along and write what I write, just like you're sitting right here. That's why the camera is sitting at your desk, so it's the same sort of thing. So follow along. Please download the Google Classroom app on your phone, and that's how you're going to submit the pictures of your notes and your work, okay? This is going to be maybe 10 minutes, okay? So let's do it. And there's going to be a warm-up involved. And I will speak a little clearer than I did the other day. I was a little bit rushed. Okay, here we go. It is Friday, 3/20/20. And this is multiplication of monomials with binomials. Remember, mono is one. We're multiplying single terms with like binomials and trinomials, which is the doubles and the triples. And we always put our date, especially now, okay? Put the date. Hope you guys have some paper and a notebook. And like I said before, I failed to make you bring home your math folders on Friday and all the chaos, okay? So, sorry about that. Okay, here is your warm-up. We did this back in, I don't know, November. It's the concept, okay? It's basically multiplying bases and exponents. 2x times x. I just want you to copy these down first, and then I'm going to talk about them, okay? And like I said before, not one of you guys can say slow down, or you're going too fast, or go back, because you can always press pause, rewind, and deal with it. A squared times AB, and number 4 is 3x squared y times 4xy. Okay. I'll give you a second here. Just make sure you got these dots. That's multiplying, because we're multiplying. Remember that these parentheses right here, that means multiply. And so does this, okay? We're going to add some ninja ones, some floating ones, some ghost ones here in a second. So number 1. First, let's add our ninjas. Ninja 1, floating 1, floating 1. Here was the lesson back in maybe 2 months ago that we need for this particular lesson. 2 times 1. We're going to multiply the bases first. 2 times 1 equals 2. And x times x. Remember, when you multiply exponents with the same base, by the way, I said these are bases, these are whole numbers. We're multiplying whole numbers. The base is the x. So x times x is 1 plus 1 is 2. So x stays the same, 2x squared. That was an easy one. Let's add our ones, ninja ones. And let's make sure we've all got the same base here for number 2. And let's see, we've got 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 3 equals 3. So that's the whole number. And then we forgot to add a ninja 1 right there. When we're multiplying same bases, we're adding the exponents. They're all a's. 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 2 is 6. So the answer to this is 3a to the 6th. Number 3, let me circle my answers. Okay, hope you guys are circling those. And take some pride in your notes, guys. Just because you're sitting at your desk or your couch at home or, who knows where your, kitchen table, wherever your study spot is, make sure that you take some pride in your notes, please. I've been telling you guys that forever. Let's add some ninja ones here. Okay, we got, let's add some floating ones here. We got a 1 there and a 1 there. Let's start with the whole numbers. What's 1 times 1? Exactly, it's 1. Let's multiply the a to the second times a to the first. 2 plus 1 is a to the third. And since there's no b to combine here, I'm just going to bring this b down. And it doesn't matter if, it does not matter if I put the 1 there or not. So this is the same as this. A to the third b. Both of these answers are correct, okay? Both. Doesn't matter. Ninja ones, floating ones, they're all there, invisible all the time anyway. Let's move on to the fourth warm-up. Guys, this is just a warm-up. So, we've got our little lesson here coming down here on this page. We've got a whole number and a whole number. Let me add some floaters here. Floater, floater, floater. Let's start with the whole numbers and go 3 times 4 is 12. X to the second times x to the first, we're adding those exponents, so it's x to the third, and then y times y is 1 plus 1 is y squared, okay? So those are the skills that we need for this little 4-problem set. Okay, let's do an example 1. Example 1. 2x times 5x plus 3. This is straight distribution, you guys. It's the same thing that we did here in the warm-up, but now we are distributing, which is multiplying evenly through the parentheses, and we're following the same rules, all right? So if I look at 2x times 5x, I know that that is 2x times 5x, and 2x times 3, this is our thought process, okay? And we're following the same rules that we did up here. 2 times 5 equals 10. X times x equals x to the second. Remember to add your floaters if you need it, all right? 2x times 3 is the second part of our distribution. Well, 2 times 3 is positive 6. And if there's nothing really to multiply by that x, we are just bringing this over. There's our answer right there. And we're leaving it. There's nothing to combine. There's no combining like terms here. We're just multiplying. We're putting it right there. And it is written in descending order for that variable x. The 2 first and the 1. So that's the answer. That's it. We're not solving for x. There's no equal signs. We're just multiplying this monomial times either a binomial or a trinomial. I think there's a trinomial coming up here. Maybe after this next one. Example 2. Oh, here we go. 3a squared times a to the third plus 4a. Draw your arrows if you have to, guys. I like to. Arrow and arrow. And remember, if you've got to draw the thought bubbles underneath, then go ahead and do it. You've got enough time, believe me. No one's got any plans. Unless you're going to go to the grocery store with your parents. I wouldn't even go to the grocery store. It was depressing going to the grocery store the other day. It was like people walking around like zombies, not looking at each other. Some guy sneezed in line and everybody freaked out. This virus is going so fast that we don't know if it's lingering in the air or whatever. That's why we're not really supposed to go out or be within 6 feet of one another and wash your hands aggressively. All right, let's get rid of this thing. This is crazy. All right, here's my thought process. 3a squared times a. Go ahead and add the 1 if you'd like. 3 times 1 equals 3. And a squared times a to the third is 2 plus 3 is 5. It's 3a to the fifth. All right? That's it for the first part. The second part, 3 times 4 equals positive 12. And a squared times a, I'll add that 1, 2 plus 1. Remember, this is your thought process. 2 plus 1 is 3, a to the third. I'll put a circle around that. Remember, we're not combining these at the end. We don't have to. We're just leaving it like this. This is the answer. 5 to the 5th is first, to the 3rd is second. That's it. Distributing straight across. Number times number. That's a ninja one right there. And letter times letter. Okay? Add up the exponents when you have the same base. Here we go. Example 3. Example 3. Ooh, now I got a trinomial. That's pretty sweet. Let's put a 3 out front. We got a y squared plus yz plus 3z squared. Remember, the reason why I put the line through the z is so it doesn't look like a 2. Most of your 2's look like z's anyway, so when you make a z, put a line through it. So it doesn't look like a 2. Or else you'll have 3, 2, 2, and then you'll just start doing weird stuff. So help yourself out and write neatly. Let's put our arrows up. Arrow, arrow, arrow. Here's my thought process. Guys, I'm not going to do this little thought process forever. I'm just doing it while I'm teaching so you know what to do. And this heater is getting hot on my legs. Oh my gosh. Okay. By the way, it's 60 degrees here in the classroom, so it is freezing, freezing. Our first thought bubble, 3 times y squared. Our second part is 3 times yz. And our third thought bubble is 3 times 3z squared. Okay? Number 1, first part, 3 times y squared is 3y squared. Done. Second part, 3 times yz, there's nothing really to do. It's positive 3yz. If I said what's 4 times ab, it's 4ab. If I said what's negative 8 times xy, it's negative 8xy. So don't overthink this, okay? And finally, 3 times 3z squared, well, 3 times 3 equals 9. And it is positive 9. And then we're just going to add the z squared. Z to the second. There we go. All right? One more for our notes, guys. I'm flipping it. Can I flip it? Oh, yeah, you can pause it. Sweet. By the way, I hope you guys are, you can do this with headphones in. You can have music playing. I'm obviously not. I can't check. I did have somebody put something in the classroom chat that said, McBean, I'm using my phone. Okay. Go ahead, use your phone. But don't let it distract you so you can't do this. That says a squared b times a squared b squared plus 2ab. Close it. All right? This looks like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. This looks more difficult than it is. But if you break it down and go like this, boom, and boom, and I'll put my ninja 1 there. This is a binomial. There's 2 terms here. And we have a monomial out front. So we just got to get through this and just stay organized, okay? So I will put a 1 right there. And here's my terms. I'm going to use this pencil. Oh, look at that. We got the old pencil so no one can steal it. When they borrow it, I'll wave the flag, okay? Here are the terms. Help yourself out by letting your pencil do the thinking. 1 times 1 equals 1. A squared times a squared is a to the 4th. B to the 1st times b to the 2nd. I've added the exponents, it's b to the 3rd. I'm done with this term. Let's cross it off. Next, 1 times 2 is positive 2. A squared times a to the 1st, excuse me, is a to the third. And b times b is b squared. This is the answer. That's it. So just because it's longer doesn't mean it's harder, okay? Just because it looks harder does not mean it's harder. We've got one term, a's match up, b's match up, whole numbers match up. We've got the other term. We got it. That's it. And listen, if I make a mistake, I probably won't catch it, so send me a message. I don't think I did. 1a squared, 2ab.